Hi, I'm Jason Matthews, owner of Matthews Painting Company in Warsaw, Indiana. We continue our tutorial videos that we show each new employee who comes into our company as we train them to be professional painters. This is video 2 of 3 of how to go about painting a raised panel door. Video 1 was basically the process on what to do first. You can find that on one of the other videos here on our page. This is going to be how we brush in the recessed area of a raised panel. You can see I've already actually done one here. And so we're going to go ahead and get started. This has already been scuff sanded and cleaned. So we start up in the panel here on this top part, and we like to go across the edges here on the middle of this raised panel, but also up over the edge on the flat part of this door. There are some folks that like to stay off of that, and there's really no reason to, because by the time you roll into that, then you would have an unpainted area and it gets a little difficult. I also come over my 45-degree angle here so that when I come back up into that angle, I don't have to come into what I've already painted. When we get to this point, I do like to actually wipe off my ridges. That is important. So you want to go ahead and wipe this off with a rag. You can also wipe it off with a finger. Either or is fine. It does not need to be cleaned. It just needs to be wiped off a little bit. Now I put a little bit more paint on my brush and I kind of stay in the center here. Get some of the paint off my brush. As that starts to spread out some, I will come over here. I try not to cross that 45 angled edge. I bring it down again, coming onto this flat part of the door here a little bit, as well as crossing over the edge of the middle of my panel there. Notice I'm being careful not to come up into this area that already has a finished paint on it. I don't want to come in there and change the direction of my brush marks past that 45-degree angle edge. At least I hope I'm explaining that it's a 45-degree angle. So here I can feel my brush start to become a little emptier. I'm trying to stay thin coats. This cabinet coat from Instalex is what the paint's called that we're using. Looks a lot better with thin coats. If you notice, I'm not coming in and out like that. That would leave marks. As I'm coming in, the brush is moving like an airplane landing, and other times we've got to come out like an airplane taking off. I'll show you that on this little process here. Putting a little bit less on my brush because I'm down here towards the ends. I'm going to cross the 45-degree angle. Again, you don't have to make it look pretty right now. I'm now going to come over the edge of my door as well as onto this panel. Now that I have some pretty good coverage there, I start to actually lighten up the brushing, stroke it a little more carefully, and I come off like this, like an airplane taking off. I don't come all the way back up into this because this would be drying and tacking up. I'm going to do the same over here. Get those brush marks looking good. And now we go ahead and we wipe our edge so that we don't have a ridge there when we roll. That can be a dry rag, it can be a wet rag, it can be your finger. I'll just show it both ways. Again, we're not trying to wipe it completely clean. We're just trying to take the ridge off. Now a very little amount of paint for this bottom area. Start in the middle, come up over your panel here. You can change directions here. You can come onto your door as much as you want. You're just trying to get the paint on there, not making it pretty yet. One thing you do have to be careful on those. We do not like to cross, again, our edge. So that's why I'm going to come up carefully like this. I'm going to start getting my brush marks looking nice. It's a little bit of a softer brush. And here I have to kind of come off in the middle. So I'll start here, take off in the middle, take off in the middle. Wipe my edge. And that's how you paint the recessed area of a raised panel on a door with a brush. For more information, you can contact us at matthewspainting.com.